So we have selected the first option, HTTP, and it will be on the HTTP protocol. When we move to the next point, it will ask the drive space. Anyone has any idea what is a primary content library or what is a content library? Anyone?
Sir, content library is that folder that all Windows updates or software updates or Windows patches are make it download in a separate folder.
Uh, Not really. They are not downloaded. Basically, we distribute the content on the content library on the distribution point. So what happened? Whenever we install a distribution point, a folder structure is created, which is called as content library. And that content library has three inbuilt folders: package lib, file lib, and data lib. So these files or your Windows update, whatever you want to distribute on the DP, will be stored under content library. So if you see that primary content library location, it will ask you if you have multiple drives, you can specify or select that whether it is H, K, Q, whatever you want. In case, let's see how many drives we have on the GW1. Right now, there is only one drive, which is C drive. So it will automatically install on the C drive. In case there are multiple drives and you select this option automatic, let me show you. It will show you all the alphabet. In case you will select M, but there is no M drive, so it will create or generate an error message that there is no M drive. It will install on the automatic drive. So let's suppose I select the option automatic, and I have two drives, C drive and D drive. Where exactly it will create the content library folder? How it will choose? I just want to know. There are
On
two
OS drive. Should choose
on.
non-OS drive.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
It should choose non-OS drive.
No, not necessary.
It will choose C drive
Why? Any reason?
because all the directories are in C drive.
No, sir, we have to make a different drive partition for that content library.
Okay, I made that. I created the D, but during the installation, I select the automatic. So how my client will know that this is the place where I need to install? Let's suppose I just left it automatic. Let's suppose you mentioned we have a dedicated drive, D drive for the content that I can select. Okay, I know that there is a D drive. I selected that. But in case, let's suppose I'm not sure which is drive, or let me do it automatic. So how automatically it will pick, or how it will
Based on the
select?
free space?
Exactly. Kavita?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right, Kavita. So let's suppose you have C drive with the 100 GB available, whereas you have D drive with 200 GB. So it will pick the drive which has the size, or you can say much more space available. So that will, even if your C drive has more space, it will pick up that. But there is another thing that you can do. Let's suppose you have multiple drives and you don't want uh, it to create content library in multiple folders. So what you can do during your server preparation, there is a file that you can create on the drive.
No SMS drive on.
Exactly. So let's suppose in this scenario, we only have one drive. So we can't do much with that. But in case there are three drives, one for your OS, one is for your content library, and there is E drive as well, which you use for any other application. Let's suppose for file server, print server, for storing any third party or anyway. So you can create a file in that drive. Not It is a blank file. It is nothing, just you can say a blank file. It all depends on your extension. So I'm going to create on my C drive. So it will be something called no underscore SMS underscore on drive. Let's do one thing. Let's save it on the desktop. So you can put this file in this format on your drive where you want. So wherever you put this file on that drive, the content library or the distribution point role will not be installed. So it will skip that particular drive. So in case of automatic selection, there are two criteria. One is either you can put no SMS file. In case of multiple, SCCM or your distribution point role will bypass that no SMS drive. It will see, okay, there is already a file called no SMS. I have to bypass it. Then it will look for the drive with the maximum space. If there are two other drives with 100 GB or 200 GB, it will pick that. So right now we are only doing with one C drive. Let me delete that file. So I'm going to delete it. I'm just keeping automatic. Otherwise I can select C as well because there is only one drive. But there is another concept in terms of distribution, pull distribution. We will come to that. Right now we are just creating a standard distribution point, not a pull distribution point. So we will leave it blank. We are not using any Pixie, I mean operating system deployment for bare metal. So we are not enabling Pixie support, pre-execution environment support. We will leave it blank. We can enable these options later. That's not a big issue. We are not using any multicasting for our operating system deployment. So we will leave it blank. So there is option to validate content on your distribution point. So this option is basically to reevaluate or recheck the packages that you distributed on your DP. So there are scenarios when some files get corrupted or removed or not distributed properly. So if you select this option, it will revalidate your content once a week or according to the schedule that you select. So let's suppose you select every Tuesday or every after 7 days, it will reevaluate the content in the content library folders and see if some files are missing or some package needs to be redistributed. Content priority. So let's suppose if you set higher priority, it will allow, you can say there are 3 DPs and you have set the content distribution on 3 DPs. Let's suppose you are deploying a Google Chrome package on DP1, DP2, DP3. So if you set the priority highest, it will take the precedence and do it. By default, everyone has the lowest one. In case you are there is any site that where you need to distribute the content quickly, you can just increase the priority. Boundary group. So like in the boundary group, you added your site system. If you want to add uh, this boundary group into these boundaries that you created, you can add that. Otherwise, you can leave it. it can be later added. That's not an issue. So that is the completion and the summary. Now let's so give it 5 to 10 minutes. It will install the role in the background. And if anyone wants to track it in the log file, there is a log file called SMS comp, basically site component. So you can see that it is trying to connect yeah, there you go. It connected successfully, registered event GW1